and welcome to another fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Bance. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. We have a full grid lined up, some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience viewing footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go. All the cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is it going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's take it, away we go! DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone because I have a feeling. Oh no, Timo, cancel the pressure in the traction zone. My friends to mount up another overtake on 1.3 trademark. This is Ryan 3.
And Timo are oh, he hits that pit. Oh no! Oh my god, this so sorry, control myself. So Timo
I wouldn't be going to penalty too, so they can stand at the back together again, just like Timo likes it.
How many
So
times?
because-
Did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit?
Hello everyone, welcome to the new season of 2SRL Tier 1. We're already here in qualifying. People are about to start doing their first lap, and I'm here joined today by Tara.
Yep, thank you very much, Sanix. It's really good to be back doing some 2SRL. In an ideal world, I'd like to be driving, but this isn't an ideal world, especially not at the moment. So here I am in the commentary booth, and it's really good to be here. We've got the best and brightest of 2SRL out here today. A lot of the people that we saw yesterday in Tier 1 of SLR, of course. We got Copy, we got Hugo's, we got Triton, we got Some Idiot, we got all the usual suspects. And a few others as well. Timo, of course, who joined me in the commentary box yesterday. He's on track at the moment in 2SRL. We've got Nick, who spawns every Sunday, especially for the 2SRL League. And we got Bance, who was there yesterday, but this time he's on top of the timesheets because he was the first one to set a time. Gets beaten immediately by Pixel with a 21.1,
And Slash.
but
And Slash goes
and
faster
Slash
as well.
with a 20.8. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, really good to be back. It's going to be a fun season. If last weekend's warm-up race is anything to go by,
It's gonna be a good race.
it's going to be a very competitive season as well, and a very competitive race.
Even following following Tier 2 that just happened like an hour ago, which I raced in as well. That was easy. I found out it's easier to pick up penalties. I thought I was spectating, commentating Tier 3. what was it, on Tuesday, I was like, everyone's picking up penalties, you know. I was like, maybe just keeping it clean.
Give me a second, sorry, I need to leave you alone a second.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I thought maybe keeping it clean, you're not gonna pick up that many penalties, and it wasn't like that in the end. I got 9 seconds, so it's gonna be something to look out for. A little flag, I think that's some idiot. See, some idiots out on mediums, same as Equani. Actually, Equani's still in the pits.
Okay, I am back. Apologies for that.
Yeah, it's
We had,
fine.
an interruption with a crying 6-year-old coming into the room, but all good now.
Yeah, I'm currently on board with Idiot, who's about to finish his lap up. Just coming into the last sector on mediums. Keeping it
I'm
nice
sure
and
it'll
tidy.
be really slow, like all of some idiots' laps are.
Popo
It's gonna
goes...
come out the last couple
yeah.
of corners.
Popo already with a 19.6.
Yeah, good stuff from Popo. I think this might be under threat from this lap from Some Idiot, though. It's not a great lap, actually, from Some Idiot. 20.4.
20.4. Keep in mind, he is in mediums, though, to those softs.
Oh, he's on mediums.
He's on
yeah.
mediums, yeah. So Timo
So,
also on
he's
his
gonna
out
try
lap. Or, no, he just came in. Or...
I imagine that Some Idiot will want to improve on that. Like, that's not a...
yeah.
Even on mediums, that's not up to his extremely high standards.
He might actually be going for another lap now. So who knows? Actually, he's
no,
0 ERS, so he might
Yeah.
go do this lap slowly and then take a faster one. Who knows? Hugo's
yeah, it's
is
possible. He might do that.
Hugo's is also not
Oh.
on a lap, but Hugo's goes fastest currently.
Yeah, he just
200s
did the
clear of
fastest
Popo.
lap. He's on his in-lap, so yeah, 200ths is the gap at the moment. I would expect those times to come down quite a lot.
Yeah, I expect around low 19s.
Yeah, maybe an 18 if somebody really fast hooks up a really good lap. But otherwise it's going to be low 19s. Copy goes P3 on a 1 minute 20.1, which again he'll want to improve on.
Yeah, the times are gonna drop drastically. I think the pole in tier 2 was a 19.7, so I think Danny goes 100 clear of Hugo's now. So currently it's an alpha 1-2, but that's gonna change towards the end of the session.
Yep, certainly is Danny and Hugo teammates in this one. We saw them battling a little bit last night in SLR Tier 1. Hugo having a fantastic race until he came together with Jensen on the last lap. Hope for no repeat today. And yeah, very close at the top.
Jessie pits. Westerl also making his debut in F1 now. He raced a couple of races last season in Tier 2, did pretty good towards the end, so let's see how he does. He's currently in P9 with the 120.7. Also, a lot of room to improve there in that lap.
Yep, absolutely. He will want to improve. It's a reasonable banker, but yeah, he'll want to improve on that.
Currently,
So, yeah,
people
the
are gonna
drivers now.
start going out for their second laps.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Hopefully it's
almost word for word what I was about to say. So
And
Vance
I think,
is the furthest up.
Speedy
I
is
think he's
already
gonna
on a
start
lap,
this.
so swallow him.
Yeah,
Currently
Vance is already on a lap as well, I think.
Yeah, Speedy
It
got
says
it.
out lap, but I think he's on one.
Speedy got a fastest
Speedy
sector
is.
1 according to my track map, but lately what I've found out with this game is that it seems to mess with you quite a lot. Yesterday in a race, a guy had an 11-second lap as the fastest lap, so
Oh, okay.
this game is not to be trusted when it comes to certain info. Pixel with a 121.1, and it says that's the fastest lap for me, so that's already one of the things the game is gonna be lying about. So
Yeah, it's doing the same for me, unfortunately. So we'll have to keep an eye on the timing screen. Timo has gone P5 on a 1 minute 20.2. So good
Speedy
stuff
is
from
finishing up his
Timo.
lap now, coming through the final corner. DRS open, and he's gonna cross the finish line to go 4th fastest with a 119.7.
Yeah, good stuff from Speedy. So very close at the top.
And Triton goes
Four
P5 as
drivers
well.
within a 10th. Yeah, Triton P5 on a 20.0. So lots of action. We got Vance on a lap, as I mentioned. He's along with Tipsy is bringing up the rear at the moment. In terms of lap times, at least. But I'm
Slash
sure
is
that won't be
also
the
on a
case
lap.
for too much longer. 8/10 up is Vance. So lots of improvement coming here, I think.
You really need to push the limits, especially in the chicane, and it's so easy to invalidate, both in the turn in and the exit. And the curves there are also not nice to the car. A lot of the curbs in this track are just not nice to the car, so it's really easy to spin out. Luckily, the cars have more downforce this year, but
Yeah, they certainly do. They're a little bit faster than the 2019 cars. Not a whole lot, but around Australia, probably the
Vance,
thick end of a second.
5th
Yeah,
fastest,
good lap from Vance.
19.9.
P5.
Let's see,
to the
Slash.
19s.
So coming to an end with his lap.
Yeah, he's going to be banging on the door of the top 10 with this lap. Slash. He was 3/10 up at the end of the
Ooh, 12.
second sector. He goes P12 on a 1 minute 20.6.
0.6. It says 0.7 for me.
Oh, maybe 0.7. Maybe I can't do.
Nick
can't do
went
maths.
120.6, I think, and he wasn't
Oh yeah,
there
120,
before.
120.7. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the leader gap.
Ah, yeah, I see.
And
I have the
I guess I
fastest
looked
lap.
at the wrong one.
So everyone's on softs now. Idiot is on his lap now on softs. So he's gonna be looking to improve that
Yeah.
medium time he set, which was really good for a medium time, 120.4, which is currently 8/10 off full. But with his softs, he's gonna go a lot faster.
Yeah, he's half a tenth up in at the second split, and honestly, I was expecting a little bit more. It might be that he made a mistake in the last sector, though. So watch this space as far as some idiot is concerned. Around the fast right-hander now, stays in 6th for it. Runs out to the curb on the outside, gets the braking pretty much right there. That was basically perfect, I think, through there. Short shifting a little bit into the right-hander, running wide on the exit. This looks like a very good lap from some idiot. He's going to cross the line, and this is going to be pole.
Yeah, 19.3, 3/10 clear of Danny. And I think he's gonna have time for 1 or maybe even 2 more laps.
Yeah, I think probably just the one.
Yeah, just the
don't
one
think
and
he'll
keep a
want to
fresh set of
do-
softs for the race.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you'll want to do a 2-lap run. It's pretty important here that you save the tires in Australia, because it's especially if you could try and go on the soft medium, which he did do in last week's warm-up race. It's very marginal with those tires. Icewind, by the way, has gone P5 in the AlphaTauri,
So,
so
a really good lap from
he's
him.
done. Yeah, good stuff. 1 minute 19.7 for him.
Also, keeping a fresh set of softs is really good, since in almost every race, I think, I didn't watch every SLR race, but I know that in both the 2 SRL races and some of the SLR races, there was a safety car at least, or a virtual safety car. So there's gonna be some strategy at play if there is a safety car. And looking at
Yeah,
the past
absolutely.
events, there's a high chance for it.
Yeah,
As
I
Westerl
think there's a
pits
pretty good chance for a safety car.
Speedy on an outlap.
I mean, this is tier 1, so the drivers are the best drivers that 2SRL has to offer, but certainly there's always potential for incidents.
Is Popo on a lap? No, he is on an in lap as well.
Popo is, yeah, coming into the pits.
To the pits. So Bance is on a lap. Let's go with Triton. We didn't watch him yet, so he's on an out lap now. He's taking it nice and easy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find somebody who's
On
on
a
a
lap.
lap. I think Copy is.
Copy is
yeah,
invalidated,
he's in fact-
and
yeah,
Timo
he's
is spun.
abandoning his
Timo
lap,
is spun.
yeah.
And the
Oh
first
no,
one-
Beamer! That's that turn 2 by the looks of it. Is
Yeah.
he missing front wing?
No, it doesn't
I
look too
can't
drastic.
see.
I think it was
Looks
just
like he's all right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like he lost it on the exit.
Yep, I think so. Easy to do. It's a tough corner.
So he's gonna try to get back to the pits, put new set of tires on, and just go at it again.
BD starting his next flying lap then. P6 at the moment on a 19.7. Breaking down for turn 3, locking a little bit on the inside, but it looked pretty neat and tidy otherwise.
Yeah.
Getting the turn in just right, and nice exit from the left-hander.
Taking
See
as
what
much of
first
the track
sector
as
split is
possible.
now, absolutely. And he's just barely up on his previous time,
200's up.
but very conservative through turn 7.
Track
Didn't
map
use a lot of the
says-
curb at all.
Track map said he did a fastest sector 1, and I don't believe that, but who knows? Maybe he did.
Yeah, I think it's doubtful. Possible, but doubtful. We're going to see the second split very shortly indeed before he turns into this left-hander. He's half a tenth down, so he's going to yeet this chicane. I would imagine he does. It's pretty good through there. Very
Yes.
precise.
See.
To turn 13 he goes, running a little bit wide. Didn't quite hook that into the apex. Got a bit of a swapsy on the exit as well.
This corner now is really fun as well, since you can almost do it flat out in this new game.
Yeah,
Lock up
yeah.
there as well. I don't know again. Lockups are also just appearing on screen when they're not actually locking up, so
Yeah, I think the game's better about that than it used to be. Speedy crosses the line, does not improve.
Stays
It was
P6.
almost identical to his last lap.
let's see. Bance.
Vance is a quarter of a second up, so he could put himself in the mix here with this lap. He's got Popo and Hugo's and Danny all about that amount of time ahead of his last lap, so we'll see if he can get himself up
in the
there.
mix. Could also be looking at pole. if he does his last few corners perfectly.
If it's perfect, yeah, it would need to be perfect though. Some idiot's time is pretty quick. Around the last corner he goes.
And he's gonna cross the
Black
line
chat down the straight.
with a 19.6.
So
He
oh,
improves,
man,
not as much,
a
but
quarter of a second, yeah, and he's just behind that little gaggle. So another 10th and he'd be on the front row. But as it is, he's P5.
still a really good time. Quarter of a second, my bad. I misunderstood for half a second up, so I was thinking, okay, he's definitely gonna put it on full then, which is those
Oh yeah, no,
last few
half a
corners.
second would have been.
Yeah, that's my
that
bad
would
then.
have
As
a
Idiot
headline story,
started
that's
his
okay.
lap, so this is his last lap now.
Yep, looks like it. Let's follow along with some idiot then through the very fast flat turn
Sector
5 and into
500
turn
up
6
on
and
his time.
7. Yep, he's just barely up. So and that, I do believe the track map this time when it says it was a purple sector
I
1.
believe it as well. For this guy, he's just unbelievably fast. We know Hugo's also has a really fast time trial time, and he's fast at this track with the amount of time he put into it. So he's
Yeah,
definitely going to be
nice.
challenging for pole.
Yeah, absolutely right. Through the far chicane, I missed the split.
Oh, I didn't see it
what
either.
It was. So
Maybe
see if
it's
I can
better.
cheat
We're going to
and
be
find it back
surprised at the end of his
Yeah,
lap.
maybe. Through he goes 13 through 14 again, just a little bit unstable on the exit, but it was pretty good. A little bit of a lock up into 15, but it was fine otherwise.
Keeps it nice and
And
clean
he's
through the
got-
last corner as well.
Yeah, it was lovely. I think this is going to be an improvement if I had to say.
And
I'm
a
not exactly sure. Yeah,
19.1.
19.1.
What a
Wow.
lap. 5 tenths
Good
clear of
stuff.
Danny, and Hugo is also on a lap now.
Yeah.
So
He's
let's
a
just
just
follow
over a
him.
10th up in the first sector. So Hugo is going to see what he can do here. They're going to get the second sector split now. He's a quarter of a second up, so this is going to be front row. At least, unless he does that, and I don't know about that. I think he might have lost that quarter of a second and maybe even more from that little mistake there.
Yeah.
Through 13, through 14, down to 5th through 14, using a lot of revs, bringing it over to the right-hand side of the track for the very slow turn 15.
Small lockup,
Well,
nothing crucial.
It was nice apart from the far chicane, but I
Yeah.
think the far chicane might have done for him.
Let's see what he does. He does a
Oh, never mind.
1:19.0 Wow, what a lap from
Wow.
Hugo's. Puts it on provisional
obvi-
pole.
Yeah, he obviously carried the speed then. I apologise to Hugo because he obviously didn't make anywhere near as big of a mistake.
Cool,
as I
Icewind
thought he
goes
did.
third
Icewind
with the
P3, good
119.5.
stuff from Icewind.
Popo also on a lap now, trying to improve. Didn't see his sector one time, but he's
He's 300ths up is Popo in the
300s up.
first sector. It just popped up for me as I switched. So bunch of people on an out lap. We got 1 minute left in the session. Of course, if you start a lap,
Bant's
before the
retired,
time
so
runs out, you can finish it. Yeah, Bant's is
not gonna
Bant's
improve in
is
that
done
time. And
for
Popo
the time being.
invalidates.
Yeah, in the
So
chicane.
Popo's gonna stay in that
So-
position as well. Danny on an out lap. Let's see, Triton should be on a lap now, as he
Yeah,
is.
Triton's just started his final
So
attempt.
let's see Triton now, how he does. He should improve as well. He should definitely go into the 119s. He has the pace. I feel like a lot of the drivers missed quite a lot of time in the fast chicane, since it's important to get a time in because it's easy to invalidate. So maybe just keeping it safe for the first few laps, or maybe the first lap,
Yeah.
get a time in and then push on that, you know. Even if you invalidate, you still get time for one more. As Triton is 800ths off his sector one time.
Yeah, Beamer's put it P10. So Timo with a pretty reasonable lap at 20.1, but he'll be hoping, I would imagine, that somebody knocks him out of that top 10.
Speedy in
because,
P7 on an out lap
he gets
as
free
well.
tire choice otherwise. Yeah,
Speedy
Speedy
just
is
started
just
now.
starting his lap now.
And
Just barely
Triton
got across the line
invalidated.
in time. Oh, Triton invalidates, unlucky for Triton. We'll keep an eye on Speedy though, because we know that Speedy has the pace to do a bit
Ooh.
more than he has in the past.
And
Oh,
Danny
Danny
crashed
tried to, yeah.
Into
I guess
the
he was.
first few
I guess
turns.
that was his.
That was his. He just started his lap, so that was Danny's lap.
Oh, he did.
Westerl
thought it-
also
hang
finished
on.
in P13.
That would have been the. Yeah, he's going to crash into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't have started that lap, would he? With any time left, or unless the timing's messed up or something. I don't have a checkered flag for him, but yeah. Anyway, here's Speedy.
Yep. Westerl left the
coming
session,
through.
so maybe an issue, or who knows.
Don't know. He's P13 at the moment, so it might just be that he's finishing for the time being. I missed the split.
Adero
which
doesn't
is,
have a lap time set at all. Pixel retires.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. So Speedy coming around the last couple of corners now. He's the only one really who can I say that Copy has just finished his lap. P12 for Copy. He'll be disappointed with that. Didn't hook a lap up. Speedy around the last couple of corners, a little bit wide in the slow left-hander, but pretty good otherwise. He's going to cross the line here. He might be putting this P3. That's
P4,
P4
19.559.
Icewind.
Still a really good lap
absolutely.
from Speedy, putting him on the second row, and I think this is it. This is the current drivers, the current starting grid. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
So yeah, Hugo and some idiot have been trading blows all weekend with their lap times and their racecraft together. And Hugo it is who gets the pole position this time, a 19.0, and that is an extremely fast lap and a pretty big gap, honestly, between some idiot in second
And Icewind in third.
Icewind in third, yeah, and Speedy then, Danny, Popo, Bance, all within a relatively short amount of time.
So as it is now,
Down to 7.
the alphas look really strong, both Hugo's and Danny.
Yep, absolutely right.
Don't want to
Danny
curse
with
anyone, but at the end of the race, they
Danny
might
with
get quite a lot of points.
strong lap there. And the racing points as well, some idiot and Popo, of course. In fact, they came first and second, didn't they, in the SLR race yesterday, the racing point drivers, so they would be expected to be strong here. Popo, though, putting in a really good lap.
It's going to
Up
be
in
a
P6.
fun fight the whole season for who wins the constructors, since there's quite a few teams that have good drivers. Even
Yeah,
Renault with
no,
Speedy and
absolutely
Timo is not to be forgotten.
I think that's a pretty strong team. Timo is certainly good for some points in most races. Of course, he beat me last season in the Renault with superior driving. But no, he did. He was actually ahead most of the season, to be honest, last season of me. But he is a solid driver.
Oh, and it's a
will
bit
pick up some
cloudy.
points. It is cloudy, isn't it? I wonder if we're going to see any rain.
That would mix it up quite a lot. It would be fun to see some
Certainly
rain.
would.
We haven't seen any so far on Australia. So maybe this is the race.
Yeah.
The final race in Australia. Maybe it's the one with the
Well,
rain.
there's been, yeah, maybe. Well, there was a wet qualifying session yesterday, a full wet qualifying session in SLR Tier 1. But yeah, otherwise we're
Rain. The races have
completely
been dry.
dry. And yeah, welcome to folks in chat, by the way. Good to have you along. And yeah, Astro Boys, my mic is not my mic. It's my brother-in-law's mic in the United States of America. And it is, well, also it's noise cancelling, and I've left the noise cancelling on purpose because there's a lot of noise around here, so it's good to not have that if possible in the broadcast.
So we're just getting off the line for the formation lap. Got to put some heat in those tires.
Yeah,
Track is
I
most
don't know
likely a bit colder.
but if anyone's listening in voice can tell me, or through whatever means you can, just tell me what the weather forecast is likely to be for this one.
It'll be interesting to see. As Tipsy also was in last place, so I'm guessing he had a quite unlucky qualifying. Didn't even see that.
Yeah, Tipsy right at the back. We certainly don't expect that.
Adair also put it in P17. And Hagrid, you know, props to him. He wanted to drop sim race. I mean, he wanted to drop like league racing. And then all of a sudden he just put in some banging times in Australia. And now he's here racing in Tier 1 as a reserve. But
Yeah, no, it's really good to see Hagrid, and yeah, the ACC stuff as well. Like Hagrid has been
really good.
the revelation, I would say, of that league, because didn't show any signs before that, but certainly he found a lot of pace very quickly, and he's one of the fast boys in ACC, and he's translating that to F1 as well. So really good to see.
So let me open the detail for tires. And
Yeah, Copy's starting on the hards, which is interesting. So he's going to go hard, soft, thinking that he probably will be able to keep up with those around him. Will be on mediums. There are a couple of drivers towards the back: Westerl, Hagrid, and Jessie, who have opted to start on the softs.
with
And of course,
Kopi,
all of the top 10 on the softs.
with Kopi, it might be even, since he's going to be on the softs for the final stint, if everything goes according to plan, he might even get a fastest lap in. So
Yeah. Well, that's right. I mean, I would imagine that. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're starting on mediums, and we should mention as well Jensen down in P15. That's a big surprise.
yeah.
He obviously didn't get a lap in.
And again, just to keep you informed, I don't know that much about a lot of these drivers and their performances, so this is my first overall, but
Yeah. No, I'll,
the lights are
I'll
gonna
try and
turn
keep
on
across
here.
that. They certainly are. So,
This-
2SRL Tier 1.
About
Can
to
I get
begin.
a camera angle? Yes, I can. We are underway
And
in Australia.
Did someone get a jump start there?
I didn't see one.
It was a
although-
really good start though. The timings are all messed up as Hugo is in the lead into turn 1.
Yep, Hugo leads some idiot second. I'm trying to see who it is in third place. It looks
It's
like
an
an
AlphaTauri.
AlphaTauri.
Oh, and there's a yellow flag in the back. There's an AlphaTauri spinning, so that's Adiro. And
Yeah, looks like it. And Jessie as well,
Yeah.
I think, maybe at the back. I'm not exactly sure. We'll wait for the timing tower to sort itself out, but in the meantime, Hugo certainly leads. Some idiot
and
is
Danny
in
lost quite a
second
few
place.
places. He is in. I wouldn't know. The timings are all messed up.
Yeah, we'll figure it out when we can, but it looks like Icewind in third place, which does make sense. Icewind third, Speedy fourth. I think it's sorted itself out now. Danny fifth. Vance sixth. Popo having a little bit of a look
Yeah.
at the
there's
McLaren
another
in
yellow
front of
flag.
him, and Triton and Econi, who we haven't mentioned so far. Econi in the
Pixel had an
Haas,
accident as well.
having a look at Triton side by side into the fast chicane, and Triton does give him that. Pixel, did Pixel go off? Did you mention?
Yeah, Pixel had an
Didn't
accident,
see.
and Jensen is out as well. He's
Oh, and there's
spinning.
another car, Jensen, yeah, right
Damage,
at the back.
damage
so,
on his front wing.
Yep, looks like it. So he's pretty much hoping for a safety car from now on. But back up front, it's the front three making a little bit of a break. Hugo, some idiot, and Icewind all
Icewind,
pretty
yeah.
quick off the mark here. Speedy is struggling a little bit to stay with them.
As the
Across the
predicted
line to start
strategy
lap
comes
2.
up again, lap 9 to 11 for Hearts, and then some double stop, but these guys will have
Yeah.
strategies of their own, so
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to two-stop. I would
Yeah.
imagine that's not a particularly viable strategy. Having said that, Icewind did in the SLR race, and it almost worked for him. The safety car timing didn't quite work
as
out for him.
Adiro
but
leaves the
otherwise-
session,
would've been
Iconi
alright,
picks
yeah,
up a
I think
3-second time penalty.
Oh dear, and Jensen pits. He's a long way behind, though. He is absolutely just hoping for a safety car for the rest of this race. I don't think he can make up the amount of time that he needs to make up.
Pixel also a 3-second time penalty.
Yep, absolutely. So people getting warnings, which
It's
is
to be
no
expected.
real surprise.
Yeah, they're going to be pushing on the edge every lap, taking
Yeah,
as much
and
track
track-
as is possible.
And track limits this year are apparently much tougher than they were last year as well.
Yeah,
So
They
lots
are.
of penalties to go around. We got Popo having a sniff at the back of Vance's McLaren, but nothing doing at the moment. We got a little bit of a gap forming, I mentioned earlier, between
Yeah.
Icewind and Speedy is not in DRS at the
he's
moment.
already 1
so-
second behind after the first 2 laps. The first 3
Yeah,
places
it
are
might-
all half a second behind each other, but then Speedy is just a second off.
Yeah.
And Danny off Speedy. Danny started in P4 if I'm not mistaken, or P5. So he didn't lose out too much as I thought at the start. With the timings all being messed up, I really couldn't tell. He's
Yeah,
in P5.
it's always really difficult to tell. I think the just going to go, yeah, because the top 5 are as they were on the grid, so nobody's
Hagrid
gained or lost in the top 5.
really close on Nick. Oh, and Hagrid spins and hits the wall out of turn 2.
Oh,
Really
no, what
unlucky from
happened
Hagrid there.
Yeah, Hagrid. Don't know if there was contact between himself and Nick, but
Ooh.
certainly down the grid he goes. Nick is known for being a very clean driver, but didn't see what happened there.
I think he just lost it on corner exit with the overtake
Ah.
button. It really influences your traction, gives you so much
Yeah.
boost on the wheels, so much more wheel spin, so it's really easy to lose it on corner exits, especially turn 2. As Westerl
Yeah,
is really close
absolutely
to a Copy right here, so he might be going for
Yeah,
a move.
Copy on the hard tyres is struggling to keep up with those in front of him, which is no real surprise.
A yellow flag in sector 3.
Oh,
Danny
has
retires.
crashed! Danny has crashed! What happened? It was the fast chicane. Oh, yeah, he's upside down, in fact, in
Ooh.
the fence.
And there's a safety
And
car.
that is certainly going to be a safety car. Danny with an enormous crash out of the fast chicane. And one of those moments where you're glad that it's virtual and not real, because that
Yeah.
was a huge crash.
To that
Didn't
chicane, you're going
see
at
what
speeds.
happened, but
Yeah, I didn't
I
see
don't
what
think I've
happened.
ever seen a car in a league race on
Upside
its
down.
roof before like that. As a bunch of people pit, Triton is the first driver not to pit. In fact, Hugos doesn't pit, and he stays in the lead. So
Triton
everyone
also
else
doesn't pit.
behind him,
Copy is a
yeah,
hard, so he doesn't
Triton
pit.
copy obviously on the hards, and everyone else I think will stay out. There's no real advantage to
Yeah.
pitting. In fact, the Force India's stacked, so Popo will have lost a bunch of time there.
Westerl also
Force
pit,
India's-
Timo also pit on those softs. Hagrid
Yeah,
is
as
still a long way
Pixel
back,
gets
but this
himself
really
5
played into
seconds.
Hagrid's hands though. He had that accident
Yeah.
into turn 2, breaking his wing, and the safety car came out, so he's actually going to catch up to the field and just be back into fighting positions after that mistake. So that's really good for him. But really unlucky
Yep,
for
certainly
Danny.
is. And we mentioned about Jensen, of course, who had his race destroyed by that first lap crash, or so we thought, but the safety car comes back to save the day as far as he's concerned. So
Everyone's still in play for points right here. Hugo and Trident,
Yeah,
really the only two people on softs that didn't pit, so we'll see what they try to do.
yeah, I'm curious as to how that's going to work out for them. It's in theory it doesn't particularly change their strategy, but it does mean that they're going to be at a pretty big disadvantage for the next few laps until they pit. So and several drivers have opted to go for the hard tires to go to the end of the race. Some Idiot though, and Vance,
On
and
those-
Popo as well, actually, all on the mediums.
So maybe there's gonna be rain. Who knows? Maybe there's gonna be some rain
Oh.
towards the end of the race, and maybe that's why they chose for mediums, because mediums more likely than not are not gonna make it to the end of the race from lap
yeah,
4.
there's no way they make it to the end of the race, and yeah, it doesn't really make sense otherwise, does it, for them to be on mediums? So
So
you might well be onto something there. There might be rain towards the end of the race. It's certainly pretty gloomy,
yeah, it might
so
be
we'll
just
see if there is.
a roll of the dice. You know, it might be when it shows you the weather forecast. It shows you like 4 clouds or I don't know how many, and
Yeah.
it might just be on the last one that it says some rain. And in the game, sometimes rain can come in an instant and just in a couple of laps time, five laps, it can just become wet, and then in 5 laps it can just become dry again. So who knows how it's gonna go?
Yep, absolutely right. If anyone in chat knows what the situation is as Hagrid gets himself a pretty unnecessary penalty under the safety car for corner cutting. If anyone else knows in chat what the weather forecast is, do shout, because I'd be very curious to hear. Hagrid, in fact, has gone back into the pit, so he's gonna put some different tyres on. Maybe he just changed his mind and decided to take advantage of the free pit stop.
Or maybe the rain's gonna come sooner than expected, and that's why they're on softs as well.
Certainly possible. Rain 15 minutes says Wimpy. So, sorry, Kitsun. Rain 15 minutes says Wimpy. So I think I think that is absolutely the calculation. So mediums will go. We know that mediums from the warm-up race last week, they will go around about 16 or 17 laps.
Yeah.
So the
So
runners on
that's-
mediums, Some Idiot and Bance and Popo should be safe.
Tipsy's gonna be on the edge, but if Tipsy makes it, this is gonna be really good for him as well, since he started in dead
Yeah.
last and he's in P5 right now. So if the rain comes in and people are gonna start
Yeah.
pitting, he's gonna be in a really good place there. If he
Yeah,
keeps the
absolutely
stars
right.
alive.
He's gonna go. Yeah, and Nick as well is in the same boat, so they will go backwards when the race restarts, but obviously with the positional advantage, with the track position, they might be able to get some good points for themselves.
Both Nick and
Several
Tipsy
drivers,
gaining positions.
several drivers not making, not taking the safety car in this lap, but it does call into question Hugo and Triton, who have decided not to pit. They are going to have to pit for another set of dry tires for sure.
We will definitely
So
see
effectively,
what they're planning. If they pit for another set of
Yeah.
softs, it's definitely for the rain.
yeah, absolutely right. So obviously the rain is the big unknown. We don't know exactly when the crossover will happen to go onto intermediate tires, so the driver's not quite sure about that. Hugo is getting
coming
ready
in.
to get us underway again. Is he going to go full beans out of the left-hander? He doesn't. He waits a second and then he goes
Goes.
and gets a little bit of a jump on Triton. So we're racing again in
Ooh,
Australia. Lap
Idiot already
6.
really close behind on Tipsy, but is he gonna go for a move into turn 1? On the outside of him.
Defending. Gonna try and go around the outside as Some Idiot, Tipsy
Really
will
close.
leave room, a little bit of contact between them, more contact between them, and a
Ooh.
crash, and
Idiot
Some Idiot goes around,
Spins.
and Tipsy, oh man.
And there's
Tipsy
another
did
spin
get
behind
away with
a Haas of Jessie that spun as well.
that. Haas spins as well. Vance has passed Speedy as well for P5, so Vance very opportunistic there. Complete chaos on the restart. Tipsy has dropped that behind a couple more cars. Don't know if he has damage. He does have damage, so yeah, he's very slow. So both of them been heavily compromised by that, but Some Idiot, who is a championship contender, has gone all the way to the back. Don't see if his front wing is intact. I think it is. So Some Idiot as far as I saw, didn't hit a wall.
Yeah,
Tipsy,
he just
though,
spun. Tipsy hit the wall on the right side, so
Yeah.
because they went side by
Yeah.
side, it was really clean into turn 1, but then into the turn 2, it's it's the same as with Hagrid. It's easy to understeer, easy to just lose it on throttle exit, on a corner exit with the overtake button, which they most likely did have on since that was for position. DRS is not enabled since it's just the restart after safety cars. So
yeah, absolutely right. So Tipsy is going to limp back to the pits. I would imagine he'll put a set of hard tyres on, or maybe another set of medium tyres on. But up front, Hugo's trying to make a break from Triton. He's got a lap to do it. He is
he's
over
already-
a second
yeah.
ahead now. Yeah.
Vance
So-
is on the back of Nick, who is on the back of Kopi on those hard tires. Vance and Nick both on mediums. Vance is 3 laps fresher than Nick's, but
Yeah.
both of those tires should still be quite alive since it was the safety car period for at least
Yeah,
3 of
yeah.
those laps. So
Absolutely right. So copy on the hard tyres. Of course, it says 0 laps for me, but it's not 0 laps. He started on those tyres.
Kopi's tires are gonna keep saying 0 laps for almost the whole race. As Vance picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, he ran wide on the exit of turn 5, so Vance getting himself 3 seconds. That won't help him out at all. Up front, Triton is
Westerl also a 3-second time penalty.
dropped way off the back. Yeah, Westerl getting 3 seconds as well, but Triton has dropped way off the back of Hugo.
2
More
seconds
than
already.
2 seconds now is the gap. Yeah, absolutely. So Hugo showing his pace, showing his determination to finally get himself a win on the board. He is effectively, though, a pit stop behind those drivers behind him, and so is Triton, because they will both have to pit for dry tyres once again. So watch this space as far as that is concerned. He's going to have to make his way through the field, I would think.
Nick and Vance both on the back of Kopi. Vance actually really close to Nick. 2/10 off.
Yeah.
Closing up, almost pushing him through those corners. He is on
Nick and
fresher
Vance.
mediums, but
Nick and Vance, long-time members of 2SRL. They've both been racing since season 1, and both showing that they've still got some pace here. Vance making his way through the first couple of corners. Nick,
the overtake
as
button
Coco
on.
gets himself 3 seconds.
Not close
Yeah,
enough.
Nick trying to get on the
DRS
back
is
of
gonna
Copy.
DRS is gonna be enabled next lap if I'm not mistaken. So that's when we're gonna see those proper moves and dives into some turns. Let's see down the field. The gaps are almost. Icewind is pretty close to Speedy as well. Speedy on the back of Vance and Nick as well.
Well, we got a 5-car train here. There's a bunch of cars being held up by Copy and the Williams,
Yeah.
who's on those hard tyres. Nick, Vance, Speedy, and Icewind all right on the back. Popo.
Yeah, Speedy and Icewind on hards.
Yeah, so Speedy and Icewind changed their tyres to be on hards. They are fresher hards than Copy, but still they're hards nonetheless. So they will be relatively slow. But Speedy at the moment, certainly all over the back of that McLaren, not close enough to have a look into 13. Of course, everyone has DRS, which makes life very difficult for Speedy. He is right on the back of Vance though now through the very fast turn 14 as Triton gets himself 3 seconds worth of penalties from second place.
Keep in mind, Tipsy bid it for another set of mediums, so he's really far back. So we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, Tipsy with the with that damage, of course, had to pit.
So
After that
everyone's
crash
kind of
with some idiot.
DRS training themselves. But I think we're gonna start seeing some moves here, because overall this is the fight for P3 right now on track. And
Yep,
it's
it certainly is. Copy is the cork in the bottle. And yeah, it is pretty much now, how many cars is that? A 7-car train all the way back to Econi in 9th place. Timo is a couple of seconds behind him, so that's where the break is.
Hugo's
But
already 5
certainly-
seconds on Triton.
Yeah,
Really
Hugo,
fast.
so
Unbelievable
fast, my
pace.
goodness. This is the 4th lap after the
Idiot
safety
right now.
car ended.
As well. Really close to Pixel on a recovery
Yeah,
drive.
idiot is going to be some idiot is going to be. It's going to be, I think, passing Pixel very soon here. Maybe
Yeah.
here even.
Ooh, he looks
Give
on
a
the outside
look.
and he backs off,
Decided
but
not to.
decides to keep it safe, wait for the DRS.
Meanwhile, I'm going to keep my eyes on this battle up front here, because Vance very close to the back of Nick into 13. Not close enough though, because both cars, of course, have DRS. Slipstream not really a thing.
Ooh, and the
In
Haas
F1
of
2020.
Iconi right there was a bit unstable on the exit, almost lost it, but good job from him keeping it on track.
Yeah,
As
good stuff
Idiot
from
also got the
him.
job done on Pixel, so he's gonna be looking at Slash now.
Yep, and Triton now beginning to fall back into the clutches of Coffee. He's obviously struggling on those tyres. Hugo's is not struggling on those tyres. He's got 6 seconds worth of advantage. He's trying to get as much as he can before he has to pit. 3 seconds for Speedy.
Yep.
So a few drivers in that lead group getting a penalty. Vance going to the inside to defend. Speedy trying to go around the outside of turn 3.
bumped
Side by side,
wheels.
outbrakes himself though. They did bump a little bit, but Speedy I think outbraked himself, so
Yeah.
that put an end
Bance
to
on
that.
really low ERS though. Bance on like 10 to 15%, as Speedy has almost 80% left of ERS.
Yep, so he probably is going to be a sitting duck down the one of the next couple of straights.
Icewind
3
takes 3
seconds
seconds.
for Icewind, yeah, absolutely. So a bunch of drivers now having issues as Speedy does use that ERS to good effect. Vance not having any of that though,
Front.
hanging him
Ooh, Speedy
absolutely out
almost
to dry
loses
on the outside, and now Icewind is going to be alongside and maybe past Speedy even into the far chicane. So Vance taking no prisoners at all there, and Speedy is the one to lose out on the outside of that corner. So Icewind gets himself up to P6.
Ooh, and Popo also on an overtake on Speedy.
Yeah.
They're going side by side. Speedy's gonna have to
Just
back
goes to
off.
show, yeah, just goes to show if you run out of ERS, then makes life very difficult for you. So Speedy losing 2 places in 1 lap.
Speedy's the one with ERS though. He should be the one. Ooh, Vance
they all have
almost
DRS.
Vance almost loses it into last corner. That was really close.
Does get away with that.
Scopey's so close to that DRS of Triton, really edging
Yeah.
it. If once Scopey gets
he's
it,
going to be vulnerable. He doesn't have it. Nick is using DRS and the overtake button, but he's just not close enough. He's just not close enough. So
Train's still
Coffey
going down to
able
P9.
to keep P3.
and Scopey's in DRS range now. He's gonna have it by the after the fast chicane. I think he's gonna be there. 9/10
Yeah,
off.
he might well be. He might well be. So Coffey showing his pace on those hard tires.
Star's really coming alive as Iconi picks up a 3-second time penalty. This is gonna be really bad for Nick and all the medium runners, since Scopey's gonna have that extra speed now because of the DRS, 3 DRS zones on the track. So it's not gonna be that easy for everyone to pull close to him without using overtake. And the dirty air in this game is obviously worse than it was in 2019, so it's really hard to follow cars as well.
It seems like it, particularly around here. Jensen with 3 seconds. He's fighting his way up. He's all the way up in 11th place now from the back of the field. After that incident early on, Icewind was all over the back of Vance, but now he's under pressure himself from Popo. And it's all just very, very tense here.
Triton decides to pit.
Lots of cars close to each other. Triton pits, yeah. So that's the soft tires. Oh, Triton just getting himself a 5-second penalty, not quite slowing down in time. So Triton is the first of the front runners to get themselves a pit lane speeding penalty.
There's older cars coming down the DRS straight now, the second one. No one going for a move,
Yep.
they're just following, harvesting that ERS.
All the way from 2nd to 8th. They're all in that little snake.
Hugo's already an
From
8-second
Coffey.
gap to
Yeah, it's a
Coffey.
huge gap for Hugo. He's gonna, let's see, he's gonna be pitting next couple of laps. Where's he gonna come out? I think he's gonna come out somewhere around where Pixel and Hagrid are. So despite that incredible pace from Hugo, he's not able to pull enough of a gap to be with the lead group.
Everyone's doing
This
a
is
really
gonna be
good
a
job
huge
following,
ask.
keeping it clean, no touches.
Yep, absolutely right. Everyone knows that any sort of an incident is going to be potentially the end of their race. We saw Tipsy and Some Idiot come together earlier on. Some Idiot's race has been pretty badly compromised by that.
Hugo stays
It's,
up for another lap. He's really pushing those soft tires to their limit.
Yeah, start of lap 12, was the end of lap 12, start of lap 13. So of course, a couple of laps under safety car, so he won't have worn the tires to quite the same extent.
Yeah, it seems like
Under
it's gonna
safety
start
car,
raining
but-
anytime as well. If
Yeah.
you look at the weather, it's just grey. As grey as it
Surely he
gets.
Surely he can't stretch the soft tires long enough to go until the rain, and he's now also losing time to Coffey.
Yeah, I
Coffey on
think
those
he
hard
might pit
tires
for
are
another
better as Vance sends one up the inside into turn 3 on Nick. Nick
Nick
hanging
kicks
it around the outside. Vance didn't quite get the move done. He didn't get the traction on the exit. There was a little bit of contact as well, but Vance
Staying
showing
staying
that
on
he
the back
is
of Nick as
very
well.
racy. Yep.
First race is really important. It gets your spirits up. If you do bad, it might just it might keep you down for the upcoming races. have a
And
spin.
a huge train behind as
Ooh.
well, and lots of people trying to make moves. Speedy around the outside of Popo, but again, Speedy's going to lose
Iconi.
out to Iconi after making a mistake around the outside. So lots of people trying to make moves. And Nick doesn't have DRS now, so that means that Vance is going to be with the advantage here into
Goes on the
13.
inside.
And when he looks
So
at the
close.
inside, but again,
Good job from him.
Nick with very, very good defense, braking late enough as Hugos does finally pit from the lead.
So this is gonna promote Kopi into P1, Nick into P2. So he's gonna have, does he have DRS? No, he does not. So everyone's gonna be ready to pounce onto Nick now.
Yep, and the person ready to pounce most of all is Vance, but Vance made a mistake.
Made a mistake.
And now he's going to be having to defend from Icewind, who's
Not
behind
using
him on the
DRS.
hard
I think
tyres.
Icewind has a DRS problem. He didn't open
I
it.
think he did open it, but it was late.
Oh, no,
I didn't
'cause-
see.
okay.
I didn't see clearly, but I thought it was open when I saw it at the end of the straight. But yeah, he lost a lot of time at the beginning of the straight.
So
Riders come through, and yeah, Hugos has come out
Jensen in
just
P8.
ahead of Hagrid.
Jensen came up to
P8
P8.
on the hard tyres. So
Didn't see
he's
that
got
one
some
happen, but
pace.
also
And he's
some
not a
idiot
million
back in
miles away
10th.
from the- Yeah, he is. He's making his way up through the field. So Jensen trying to latch onto the back of the group in front of him. He's 2 seconds off them at the moment.
Popo in 5th, Iconi in 6th. So let's see. Westerl picks up another 3-second time penalty. Oh no, his DRS is fine. My bad. It looked like it was closed.
Yeah, no,
Everyone's getting so fighty.
I think he didn't have it open at the beginning of the straight, but I think it's because he didn't open it.
Yeah,
Because he
maybe
did open it at the end of the straight, but it was late.
he knows
So,
that fighting just loses him time, so maybe just better to follow, keep those tires alive.
Maybe.
Once he gets in front, he'd still need to clear both Nick and Kopi to be in the lead. As I think Hagrid and Jessie pick up penalties.
So Vance, I think, has Nick here. He's not using his overtake though, so he's not going for it into turn 1. Is he going to go for it down to turn 3 instead? Is he going to try and get the traction down?
A lot cleaner this
on
time.
slightly older tyres.
Yeah, overtake here.
Using all of the overtake that he possibly can, and does brake late down the inside and locks a tyre. And has he got the move done this time? He's got a head at corner exit, and he does.
A really nice move from
get
Vance.
the overtake done. Nicely done from Vance. It was forceful, but it was fair. And Nick having to yield, and Nick now under pressure from Icewind, but no room in turn 7 to overtake.
So what I think what Vance needs to do here is just pull away from that DRS, because then everyone in that train is start gonna losing time to him. He's 1.6 behind Kopi, so all he needs to do is just reel him in by 6/10. But and is it starting to rain, or am I just seeing
It
things?
might well be. It's been about 15 minutes.
I think I'm
since
I'm throttling for
since
the rain.
call from Wimpy. No, I think you might be right. I think it might
Hugo's
be
is
starting to rain. It
Hugo's pitted on soft, so he definitely
might, well,
knows
he
something.
Might be, 3 seconds for Speedy. Yeah, Hugo has put the softs on, so he's confident that it'll be. It'll just
some
be a
idiot
soft
picks up
stint,
3
and
seconds.
Icewind does get the pass done on. Oh, is Nick disconnected?
Ooh.
Oh, Nick spins! What happened there? Is Nick disconnected? We didn't see. He's ghosted. Did he disconnect? And he stopped at the side of the track, and it's Nick's race, I think, has fallen apart.
Westerl, another
Whether
3
it was a
seconds.
disconnect or whether it was a mistake, I don't know, but he is still ghosted, so I think he's certainly out of the running at the moment.
Also, while that was happening, Hugo's just posted a fastest lap time, so if it's gonna start raining, he's gonna be the one that has the fastest lap time. Slash picks up a 3-second time penalty, and while that was happening, Idiot also picked up a 3-second time penalty, and I don't think Hugo's has one. So
I don't. I'm going to double check in the race director to see what the situation is.
also Idiot right now 8th, a second behind Hugo's.
Yeah,
Is-
he
oh,
got
yeah.
the move done on the front straight. Hugo's on fresh soft tyres. Some idiots on medium tyres, but yeah, Hugo's does not have a warning. So Hugo driving fantastically on those soft tyres.
So
As
Idiot
again, we got
really
this-
put himself back in the battle for
Yeah,
the lead,
yeah,
but
he's,
everyone that's gonna
he's-
keep those tires alive, if the rain is coming,
Yeah, he's fought his way back as some idiot. So we got, what, 13 laps to go at the end of this one. Copy leads at the moment by 1.7 seconds from Vance, who's having to defend from
Ooh,
Icewind.
Icewind.
Turn 13, Icewind around the outside. Beautiful move. Doesn't quite
Still
get
side by
traction on
side,
the
keeping
exit,
it
ran
there.
A little bit wide.
needs to back off.
Vance just getting his nose ahead. So Vance,
Really
we
driving
know he's a
defensively
fighter.
now. Yeah, his
We know he's a
tires are
fighter
gonna
as
be.
far as- Yeah, but they certainly are. Vance's tyres now going to be really struggling. Icewind once again going to be having a good look here at the back of that McLaren. He's got enough overtake to use down the straight toward turn 3, but he makes a mistake in turn 1 and almost loses it.
Ooh,
And now
Popo
he's
on the
gonna be
back
under
of him.
severe pressure from Popo, yeah.
And
absolutely.
Iconi,
And
look
Iconi
at those
as
two
well.
cars. They're all so close. This
And there's just a gaggle of cars 3 wide into turn 3, but Icewind keeps it for the time being. Runs a little
Popo
bit
hits
wide
a
as
bit.
Popo
Iconi.
forces his way past as well. It's such great action here in this first race.
The midfield
And
is
the
so close to
positions
each
do
other.
not change.
And this is still the fight for the lead. Because if it starts raining now, they're
Yeah.
all gonna be pitting for wet tires or intermediates. So
And guess who's on the back of this train as well now? Hugo
Hugo's
has made his way all the way up
overtaking
into
Timo here.
P9, and we've got a move up ahead. I think Popo having to defend from
Iconi.
Iconi, and Speedy I think got himself alongside Iconi as well, as they're going to go side by side into the far chicane. Speedy on the inside should have the upper ground there. The
Iconi
high ground
backs
as
off.
Popo gets a penalty, and Iconi does have to back off. So fantastic action in this race. Hugo has made his way past Timo. He's going to be on the back of Iconi and Jensen and Speedy pretty much now.
As Bance got into the DRS range of Kopi right there, and Icewind is
Yeah,
not
he
in the
has.
DRS of Bance anymore, so Bance is pulling away from this.
We're all
Somewhat.
just waiting for the rain.
He is.
End of lap 17. Whose medium tyres
Are gonna
are
suck.
going to be struggling? It might be that the medium runners have bitten off more than they can chew here, and they're going to have to pit for another set of dry tyres. We'll have to wait.
Oh,
and
it's
see. Could be
raining.
those
I
hard.
see the raindrops falling down.
Yeah, it definitely is raining now.
Slash picks up another 3-second time penalty as Hugo with DRS now is looking for a move onto Jensen. Goes into the corner.
And the inside is running wide is Iconi and losing a bunch of places.
Ooh,
and
goes
into
wide
the
on the
gravel.
gravel.
And Timo as
Loses
well
to
is
Timo as well.
going to go
Oh,
around the
side
outside
by
of him, I
side.
think. Timo, you got to be a bit more decisive than that, my friend. Still side by side around turn 6, and Timo
Backs off.
having to yield.
Hugo now in
But
P6
Hugo
already.
Cutting his way through this field, and it will be an advantage for him to be on those soft tyres in the damp conditions. They are very much better
Yeah.
than mediums and hards in those conditions.
Also keep in mind those mediums and hards, all of them are coming towards the end of their lifespan here, especially the mediums. The mediums are basically gone at this point. I'd say they're like around 60 to 65% wear.
Yep,
so
absolutely right.
They're gonna be
Popo,
slippery.
Having to defend from Hugo. Hugo's going to be very impatient to get past that racing point. Hugo up to P5 on the road now, having pitted after the safety car, but it is raining.
And Popo's also not in DRS of Icewind anymore. So
Nope, he
Icewind
certainly isn't.
bans.
Oh, he is now. Icewind must have made a mistake there.
Yeah.
So, but he wasn't at the detection point, so no DRS for him. Hugo using that overtake button. Popo using it too, though. And no dice into turns 1 and 2, but through turn 2 goes Hugo. He got a better run out. He's got the DRS. He's got the overtake button. Shortly, he's got
Yeah.
the move done into
On
turn
the outside,
3, easily
he's
around the
already
outside,
ahead
yeah.
before the corner actually is there. So Hugo's
Yeah.
now 3/10 off Icewind. He might even get him the next few corners before DRS. And Bance and Kopi ahead. Look at how close everyone is. Look at Hugo making up all the time he lost from pitting. He's also back in the lid almost. And they're gonna go back into the pits
drive.
for the last
Stunning
few
drive
laps.
from Hugo. We've seen some stunning drives from him in the last few days, but this one at the moment is better than anything he's done so far this weekend and last weekend.
It's immediate in P9. And Hugo, look at him closing up onto Icewind. Already
Going
side by
so
side.
easily.
Already ahead before the
So
chicane.
easily.
So Bance is
So
gonna be his next
P3.
target.
And
He might
Vance is
just
going to
get
be
him
trying to. Vance is going to be trying to pass Copy himself, but not close enough. Hugo right on the back. And pretty much the top 10 are in a train at the moment. Just a couple of drivers a second or more away
Jensen
from
picks
the
up
other
a
3
3-second
seconds
time
for
penalty.
Jensen, yeah. But any one of this top 10, any driver in this top 10 can potentially win the race if they
Even
get the
some
pitting
idiot
right and
who
if
had
they
that
get the-
accident.
Yeah,
He's in P9
absolutely.
right now. Oh, it's Hugo DRS onto Bance. Are they gonna go side by
Sure,
side
he's
into
got
turn
him.
1?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
him down the inside.
Bance is gonna yield.
Copy surely is going to be a sitting duck very soon as well for Hugo. I don't know about this time down the straight. He maybe has the battery to do it.
So you know
Not
Hugo's
quite.
soft tires went for 13 laps it was. So
Yeah, 2 of those were under safety car. I think
Yeah.
I think 10 or 11 is usually the
yeah, so
limit of the soft tires.
so he's gonna be pushing, but once he gets clear of Kopi, he needs to make the gap as fast as possible
Yeah, he certainly does.
because those soft tires are, as hard as he's been pushing, they're not in a good state. Most
Yeah,
likely.
Absolutely right.
Most likely
10
not a
laps
good
to go.
As he goes side
We
by
don't
side.
know. And from the looks of it, I'm just trying to gauge
It's close.
how close we are to the crossover in terms of intermediate tyres. Hugo does take the lead with a move around the outside of that left-hander. I'm just trying to gauge how close we are as Bance as well, trying to get down the inside of Copy. An opportunistic move from Bance.
And he gets it done.
They go side by side through the flash again. Beautifully done from Bance on those medium tyres.
Jessie
They're
at
not
3
dead
seconds.
just yet, as behind there's all sorts of chaos. As several drivers, Popo almost onto the grass and forced into a gap there that didn't really exist. Was Jensen. Speedy trying to force his way past the Red Bull, and he's going to do it, I think, into 14. Speedy cuts him off though. Jensen cuts him off, excuse me, but Speedy does get through. So lots and lots of action, and it's such a credit to these drivers that there have been so few crashes in this race.
Only one crash, and I think that wasn't even a. Oh no, that wasn't even
Speedy
a.
and Jensen. Sorry, excuse me. Speedy and Popo. Popo all over the back now of. So Speedy all over the back now of Popo. Jensen keeping a watching brief as well.
Yellow
We've got
flag.
A yellow in sector 3.
That's
it is
Slashy.
Mercedes / LP.
He's out. He retired.
Out of the far chicane. He's retired. Are we going to see another safety car here? Because he has crashed in the far chicane. Are we going to see anything as the rain has hit? We got 9 laps to go. No safety car yet. Looks like no safety car.
I don't think he broke. He didn't retire from his car.
The car's still moving, isn't it?
So that I think he retired by retiring.
Yeah, I think so too. So
he probably broke his wing. He was so far behind. He picked up quite a few penalties. So currently 2 drivers retiring. Danny, who had that massive crash.
Icewind on Copy into turn 13. Around the outside, he's got the overtake button, he's got the DRS, and he's got the move done once again. So Icewind up to P3 on the road. I'll check the penalty situation very shortly when it becomes relevant.
Another one. Bance behind a ghosted car of Adero.
Yep,
I
looks
think
like it.
in a couple of laps time we're going to see people pitting. As
yeah, I still don't think we're anywhere near.
No,
it's a 24.6 from Hugo on those soft tyres, so we've still got a few laps to go yet. And I just wonder if anyone's going to try and go to the end on dry tyres, depending on what the how many laps there are to go when the crossover happens. But we're still a long way from it. And yeah, Hugo will have to stop again.
Copy pitted for softs. Copy pitted for softs. So those hard tires didn't go anymore.
Yeah.
Copy just pitted for softs. So the tires are a bit glitched out again. As Iconi goes on intermediates.
I mean, that's a roll of the dice, isn't it? We're nowhere near intermediates, I'm pretty sure. We're still a long way from it. A good few seconds of lap time yet.
But the rain seems to be picking up from what I can see. There's a lot more drops than there was before. There's still no spray on track.
A little bit. But no, Hugo is like the 1.4 seconds down on his best time at the split as Speedy and Jensen again fighting into the far chicane.
Yeah.
But we're still a long way from the rain. Speedy now having to defend from Jensen. Jensen to the outside. He's got the overtake button all the way down.
And he gets the job done.
He does
no problem.
get the move done into 13. Good stuff
Jensen
from him.
on 20 laps, all hard tires, so those tires are going to be quite slippery as well. He goes a bit wide there, picks up a warning.
Yeah, and so Hugo, we hadn't mentioned this, but he hasn't used any other tyres, and I'm pretty sure
he's going to have to
even if it rains, you still need to use more than one set of dry tyres, or more than one compound of dry tyres, if you're not going to get disqualified. So Hugo, despite his heroics, I think is going to have to pit again. The question is, are other people going to have to pit again? As Popo now under pressure from Jensen.
Yeah,
Jensen on the move.
Really close. Look at the gap Hugo's already made. 5 seconds onto Bance. Those soft tires are dying off, I think, at this point, though. It's going to be quite a lot slippier. The track's... He's still going to have a lot more grip than everyone else on those old mediums and hards. Like Bance, Popo, Idiot, all on 19-lap mediums. I think that's almost in puncture range now.
Yeah, very possibly, depending on how gentle he's been. Yeah, 19 laps on the mediums is a long time.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a puncture. The race is still far from over with 6 laps left.
And they're going to have to, just going to look at these lap times as Icewind crosses the timing. Yeah, 1.1 second at the second split. We're not anywhere near still.
Yeah, Iconi's just
still
losing
almost
time.
Completely dry, despite the fact that it's been raining for a good few minutes. As Jensen now on Popo around the outside into turn 13, and Popo does yield, and Jensen makes up another place. So he's timing his run here as Jensen. He's been conserving resources for a little
Jensen goes
while,
a
and
bit
now
wide.
he's, yeah, he does run wide, but gets away with it. But now he's on the move, and he's trying to move up the order, up to P4 already. And I'm just going to check what the penalty situation is in aggregate. Vance has 1 penalty, Icewind has 2 penalties.
Popo
Jensen,
and Speedy, we're almost side by side. there, I think.
Jensen has 3 penalties. Popo and Speedy. Let's have a
Really
look. Yeah,
close to each
Speedy
other.
all over the back of Popo.
Popo tried.
locks a
Ooh.
break
That
and
was-
almost runs into the back of Jensen.
He wanted to go for a move, but then again, he wasn't that close.
I'm not sure he did. I think he just outbraked himself and
Yeah,
took evasive
that's one of
action.
those. Let's say he wanted to go for a move, because if he would have got that done, it would have been quite nice.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But
Speedy
I
on the
think
back
it
of
was his
Popo now.
intention.
Speedy should get the job done. Really close.
Uh,
Goes on the inside.
Does the switch back. Speedy having a look down the inside, still side by side, little bit of contact, but Speedy just about
Have
keeping it pointed
DRS.
in the right direction. He's doesn't have the overtake button pressed down. He's going to be waiting for that DRS.
Ooh, yellow
Popo, I
flag.
don't think we'll have DRS. What are those
Westerl spun.
yellows? That's
Westerl
yeah,
spun.
it's a Mercedes vessel. Has retired. Are we
It's-
going to see anything further
Speedy
on that? 5 laps to go.
Gets the job done.
Speedy around the outside. Beautiful move.
Nice move from
Yeah,
Speedy
lovely.
right there. Speedy
Lovely around
chasing
the outside.
Jensen now. Timo also in the back of some idiot. Some idiot tires are gonna be completely done now. 20 laps. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's just amazing they got as many laps in those mediums as they did. It's just phenomenal.
Absolutely right.
As
So
Popo actually
this
pits.
vessel- yeah.
Popo pits.
Popo does pit, so Popo has decided, is he going to put intermediate tyres on? That's the question. We're getting a bit closer now to the crossover. He is going to put super softs on, or softs on rather, the red tyres. So Popo doesn't think it's wet enough for rain tyres.
Tipsy also
just
pitted
yet.
for a
We've
new
got-
set of softs.
And the runners on mediums, they're going to have to pit.
They're gonna
'cause
have to
they've
pit
been
again,
on-
yeah.
And so are the drivers.
On hards.
Oh no, actually, because they pitted under the safety car, didn't they? So they don't technically have to pit, but I'm pretty sure they will have to in practice because, as you mentioned, we're in puncture territory now for
Yeah,
those mediums.
those tires are not gonna look cool. And Kopi, he's on those softs coming towards the end of the race, and everyone in front of him. I find it hard to believe they're gonna finish the race without tires.
I think the hards will finish the race. I don't think the mediums will.
Yeah.
So Copy is going to have to make up some places on the road. He's working on his teammate Hagrid at the moment into the tight right-hander, and he gets that done pretty easily with a big grip advantage. But Copy will be able to close that gap, I'm pretty sure, even though it's 8 seconds, as Nick gets himself 3 seconds.
Icewind also on the
Even
back
though
of
it's 8
Vance right here.
seconds. Yeah, absolutely. Vance's tyres are done, I would imagine.
Vance
at
might
this
be
point.
going for-
Hugo's pits from the lead. So that's what we were talking about with Hugo. What tyres is he going to go for? Is he going to go for the intermediates? Vance stays out. Icewind must have made a mistake because he's nowhere near the back now. And yeah, Hugo onto medium tyres, so he doesn't think it's wet enough.
It's also not gonna go wet.
And those drivers on hards, they're going to be slow as Jensen gets 3 more seconds. That could be a big deal.
So I think we're gonna see
But this is-
Vance pitting this lap, or he's gonna try to push it to the end on those medium tires.
Oh man.
This is
Because
really.
hang on, yeah, Vance started on soft, so
He's-
if he were to go to the end
He is fine.
on mediums, he'd be okay. But can he get to the end? There's still 3.5 laps of this race to go. Fascinating finish. Complete chaos from the weather.
Idiot also in P5.
Yeah.
So he
some
did
idiot in P5.
quite a
He's
good
on the
recovery
mediums as
drive.
well.
Yeah.
So how long is he going to be able to hold on to them?
Hugo's is gonna be pushing now. Hugo's actually catching up the disconnected card
Yeah.
of Adiro right here. So if he doesn't get him before the chicane, he's gonna have DRS onto him. As the rain actually does seem to be picking up a bit.
Yep, it
then
certainly
again,
is
it's-
picking up now. I'm just going to have a look at this lap time, or this sector time.
Icewind really close onto
4
Vance.
seconds. So
Icewind
we are close now.
on the outside of Vance. For the switchback, is he gonna get it done? Overtake?
Does he get the switchback? Yep, he's got
He
it.
got the
Vance's
switchback.
tyres
A really nice
completely
move
done.
from
He got no
Icewind.
traction there off turn 13, so Icewind takes the lead, and that is, I think, the net lead of the race. He's got Jensen all over the back now of Vance as well, and Vance does pit from second place on the road. So what tyres is he going to go for? Is he going to gamble on the inters? Is he going to go for the softs? I would imagine he'll probably go for the softs.
Idiot is
but
pitting
I'm
as
not
well.
sure.
So both medium
Oh.
runners are pitting in the
Yeah.
front. So let's see what they're going on. If they're
We
going
are
on
now
inters, they
close.
might be. No. Vance goes on
is on
softs.
softs.
Yeah, this is. It's not gonna be inters. Idiot also
No,
going on to
doesn't look
softs.
like it. Yeah, so the medium tyres did not work, and Hugo now on the back of Timo. Timo is in for a very good result here. He stayed broadly with the pack on those hard tyres, but he's going to have Hugo all over the back of him very soon. And how far can Hugo get, and how far can Copy get? Copy on the back of Hugo too.
Yeah, on
those
soft tires. So Copy's gonna have the most grip in this changing conditions. It's a bit slippery, not too much since no one's pitting for the inters. But Copy on those softs, he's, I'd say, around 7-ish laps or 6 laps on those softs, since the tire age is messed up again. But
and I'm just going to look at the penalty situation up front, because Icewind has 2 penalties. Jensen has 4 penalties. So Icewind at the moment, and Speedy with 2. Icewind is in the net lead of this race, or is he? Because
Jensen?
Timo has 1. Okay. So Timo's a few seconds off the bat. So at the moment, Icewind's in the net lead of this race. Jensen not really
Hugo
in play.
really
He's got
close.
6 seconds to make up, as Triton, by the looks of it, has spun. He has.
and
in
Hugo gets the
fast
job done
left-hander. That's
onto
really
Timo.
unfortunate for Triton. Yeah, Hugo does pass Timo.
7 seconds off P3 right now, but he's gonna make that time up with those fresh mediums. 23 laps on hards. Those tires are screaming for help right now.
Yeah, I think this hards will be good for the end of the race, but there's only 2 laps to go.
Copy
Hugo's
also
got
in the
6
back.
seconds to make up. Copy surely is going to get the move done on Timo here.
Side by
How
side,
many penalties does Copy have? Copy could win this race, you know.
gets the job done
Because
before the actual
Copy
turn itself.
has, Copy has 2 warnings and nothing else, and Hugo, of course.
Hagrid on inters as well.
Does Hugo have a penalty? Hugo doesn't even have a warning.
Amazing.
Hugo's going to win this race on penalties, if nothing else. Even if he doesn't get there, he's going to win this race.
You're saying Copy doesn't
And
have
Copy's
a
gonna be
warning, right?
second. Copy has 2 warnings, but no
2 warnings.
penalty.
So if Copy doesn't pick up another warning, and he's on those soft tires, all he needs to do is just get in front of Hugo.
Yep,
Is
I
that-
mean, that's right. I mean, all he has to do, that's easier said than done.
Yeah, that's a lot
That's
easier
a
said
tall
than done.
order, especially as the soft tyres are now going to be struggling a little bit. But Hugo, as long as he's within 6 seconds of Icewind, which he almost is now, and he certainly will be, I would think, by the end of the race. There's a lap and a bit to go.
Copy's actually losing
Hugo-
time to Hugo's.
Yeah, on those soft tyres, I would think.
Pixel is really
Hugo
close to
now
Jessie as well.
is within 6 seconds, and yeah, those 2 fighting for what will be the last point.
Some idiot
front.
pitted onto softs, and he's 4 seconds
Yeah.
out of the points right now. We know he
Yeah,
has a
he is.
3-second time penalty. Pixel has quite
He
a
might-
few.
Yeah, he might get something on penalties, some idiot, depending on what penalties those ahead of him have. But Hugo now well within those 6 seconds. He's 5 seconds off the lead of this race, and unless he gets a penalty, and he doesn't have a warning yet, so I don't think he's going to get a penalty, Hugo is going to be the winner of this
Ooh,
first race.
Jessie went
despite-
wide. Jessie went wide. Pixel just got the position on Jessie, who just outbroke himself into the last corner. Jessie also on 25 lap old hards. So they're all struggling on those hards. Speedy 7/10 off of P2 right now, but we all know Hugo's is there waiting for the penalties to kick in.
Yeah.
So currently Hugo's
So
in the
the-
net lead.
Yeah, the net order at the moment is Hugo's leads, Copy second, Icewind third, Speedy fourth. And I think Timo fifth.
Timo is also
So
there.
that's
So
the-
this, as it seems
Yeah,
now,
Ti-
this is a really good race for both Renaults. Danny
Yeah,
had
Timo
that
having a
unfortunate
fantastic
accident.
race.
Might have jinxed it a bit.
So, Speedy all over the back of Jensen. Jensen's tyres 2 laps older. I wonder if they've hit a cliff of some kind, but this is the last lap. Pixel gets himself 3 seconds.
Idiot really close
He won't
to
be happy with that.
Pixel. Idiot really close to Pixel. On those soft tires,
And
he gets
yeah,
the job
on
done
top
before
tyres,
the
he's gonna
actual
get that done
corner.
easily. But around they go. Hugo almost on the back of this battle for
Jensen
second
almost
place
losing it.
now. And he is, I don't know if he's going to know. I don't know if anyone's going to know exactly what the situation is. Hugo, though, will have a very good feeling
Yeah.
about it because
Jensen coming out of the
everyone's
last
been
corner
getting penalties
here.
all weekend. He's got no penalties. Does
Icewind.
Hugo Icewind crosses the
Bunch
line
across the
and
line.
wins the race on the road, but he doesn't win
Hugo's
the
almost
race
goes side by
on
side,
the timesheet.
and Hugo's is the
Oh,
winner. Hugo's
Hugo wins,
winning, Copy second, and Icewind third. An amazing race from all of them. Timo,
Absolutely fantastic. And
both
yeah,
Renaults
Timo
4-5.
gets
Really good from them.
P5.
Popo gonna cross the line now, finishes 7th, Banson 8th, and Idiot in 9th. Pixel right now coming to the last corner to finish
Yeah,
in
I wonder
point
what the
position.
situation is with some idiot who, yeah, has got more penalties than those ahead of him. Pixel crosses the line, has got a lot of
A
penalties.
lot of penalties, but Jessie even more. So, oh,
Yeah.
Nick.
And Nick gets the last point by the
Nick
looks of
takes
it,
the last point.
having
as
jumped the pair of
yeah.
them. Despite
Hagrid.
that incident.
on Inters. He was gambling. Didn't really pay off.
Oh, man. What a race that was! What a fantastic race. The weather doing us a solid there, and baiting a bunch of people into bad tyre choices. There was obviously the widespread consensus that it was going to be intermediate conditions at the end of the race, but it didn't turn out that way. And man,
Tipsy, the
what
last
a
one
race
to
it
cross the
produced.
line. Really unlucky from him. He was in a really good position, but then he had that accident with Idiot, if I recall correctly. They were
Yeah,
fighting
he did.
for
Yeah.
P5, P4.
Yeah,
Broke his
absolutely
wing,
right,
and
and ultimately it destroyed both of their races. Nobody was the winner from that one, but the winner in this race is Hugo, who, I mean, just a stunning drive. He did one more pit stop under green flag conditions than everyone. In fact, he did 2 more pit stops under green flag conditions than everyone else did. And by virtue of his tyres and his skill, mostly his skill, was able to win the race regardless.
Hope he started outside of the top 10 as well.
Who was outside of the top 10? Sorry?
Kopi started outside of the top 10, so that was a really
He
good
started
result.
outside of the
Yeah,
top
he
10.
started
yeah,
12th, so
absolutely.
he gained 10 positions. Both him and Hugo just drove an amazing
fantastic
race.
Drive from, a fantastic drive from Kopi. I'm going to ask you, I mean, I think I'm going to ask you who your driver of the day is.
My driver of the day?
Yeah.
You know, Kofi gained the most positions, but Hugo's just drove phenomenally. He set the fastest lap time, 2 seconds, 2 seconds faster than anyone else. He did pit twice, and he made the positions. He even caught up to the fight for P1 by the end of the race. And with 2 more laps of time, he would have gotten the race back, the lead back, on track as well. So just an amazing race from him, and I think he gets my driver of the day.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. It's not close for me. Copy with a very good drive. A bunch of other people, Icewind, Timo, Speedy, in fact everyone there. Jensen, who dropped to the back, in fact started way down in P15 and by virtue of the chaos got himself back up to P6. But to me, Hugo is the driver of the day, and it's not particularly close. It was a stunning drive and a declaration of intent as far as the championship is concerned.
And I mean, to be honest, I think every driver that started let me just switch scenes to the interview scene. So we're gonna have some people come talk to us. I think that everyone that drove on those hard tires just drove amazingly, phenomenal. And kudos to them, you know, getting that many laps in on those hard tires when the track becomes slippery because of rain. That's just something else entirely.
Yep, absolutely right. It was a real display of racecraft and driving that we saw today. It was a stunning race, and that was really fantastic.
So,
how are we gonna do? Are we gonna do some interviews? Or
yeah.
What's your situation?
I think we should do some interviews. I think we would hear a lot of stuff. Let's see who would want to come.
Yeah, there's not really like a channel for people to go into, is there? So if you want to be interviewed, then PM one of us on Discord. I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Or just say it in chat.
Or just put it in chat. Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those. But then again, I kind of want to hear from someone. I think Kopi would be really good to hear from him. He started on hard tires. He went a long way with those tires, and then on softs at the end. So he would be someone I would really look forward to hearing. Also Bance. He was waiting for the rain to come. It didn't come as he wanted. He was there fighting for the race victory, but
Bance. I mean, Bance was he was certainly battling for the whole race, and he got done by the fact that he chose medium tires rather than hard tires.
So, Icewind available, I think. So.
Well, I'm gonna wait for
actual
I'm gonna wait
confirmation.
for people to get in touch with. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
If Icewind wants to talk, then let us know.
Maybe some idiot would also be good for a talk, because he had that accident with Tipsy. So.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep my eyes on chat.
Overall, though, an amazing race.
I mean, it was fantastic. I'm legitimately out of breath.
The train was going on for the whole race, so
Yeah.
you know, it's amazing. We barely saw any accidents. Then again, really unlucky for Danny, who had that accident. As you said, thank God it's virtual, because if that was real, it would have been really bad.
Yeah, absolutely right.
I mean, not just that I don't see
Beamer is up for an interview. I'm going to
Yeah.
drag Beamer in
Yeah.
because he had a brilliant race. Ended up P5, I think?
P5.
Yeah, P5.
4-5 for Renault.
And as far as I guess you were concerned, Beamer, hopefully he is there.
I am.
And I've not. Hey, he is there. But as far as you're concerned, like, what was? I mean, obviously you kept it clean the whole race. You sort of tagged onto the back of the pack, and did the smart thing. How was it from your perspective?
Well, I mean, first off, in quali, I was relatively happy with being top 10, which is like okay-ish. I know I made like a little mistake in the last lap. I half spun in the last corner, so I think I could have gone higher. But then P10, I was satisfied with that, and I thought I might have some trouble because we saw that dreading rain icon in the last weather slot, so we knew there was something about to happen. And I was in DC with Speedy, and we were talking, oh god, Copy has outplayed us. He's intentionally not done the top 10 because he's gonna go in hards on the start. And we were kind of worrying. So start of the race was relatively clean from my perspective. I never fight on opening laps. I just try to survive. And then there was I tried to keep Copy behind me though because I didn't want to get stuck behind hard tires. And then Pixel overshot it and punted it to my side. On rejoining, I almost half spun, and I was in P15 or 16 or something. So and from then on, basically started the theme of the race. I was hanging on. I was just 3 seconds or something behind the train and desperately trying to catch it, but just going exactly the pace of the train, so nothing was moving there. Danny had an absolutely violent crash. I don't know if you saw that on stream.
Yeah, we
didn't,
saw.
We didn't see the crash. We saw the upside down car.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's also what I saw. It was brutal. So yeah, Speedy and I thought, okay, let's go hards because they make the end, and it turns out in all of that chaos that was actually the right call. There was so much going into it. I was thinking going mediums or gambling that it won't drain at all, and it was so much going on, and I'm really happy that we made the right call on hards. So then, basically, the second stint was also the same thing. I was trying to catch up to the train. I basically had their pace, and that made me really happy. Because Jensen took quite some time to catch up to me. As soon as I had Jensen in my delta, I thought, oh no, I'm screwed. I'm losing this position, and he took some time, so I'm really happy about the pace. And then towards the end of the race, when everyone who miscalculated on strategy started pitting, I slowly went up the ranks. I had 2 warnings from the first 6 laps, and then a last one in lap 24 or something. And so I knew, okay, I'm not gonna drop a position due to penalties, and I'm P9, so this looks good. But people were pitting, and suddenly I found myself in P6 or something. Across the line, P5, I'm ecstatic. It was brilliant.
So
Yeah, I mean, sorry, go on, Sandy.
yeah, so you were on really old hard tires.
Yes.
How did it feel like once the rain actually started coming in? Were any strategy ideas going through your head? Should I pit for that? Is it actually gonna come down harder?
Well, I was considering at some point I was looking at the point, if it rains lap 25 or something, or 24, then I'm going inters, and if not, then I'm sticking it out because, well, I mean, if you don't have the pure pace, you gotta do something weird on strategy. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna do that, and it worked quite well. It felt really difficult in the end. I had, I think, 60 flat, and I couldn't put my power down in traction zones at all, so I just coasted around as if I was driving the tire saving or fuel saving strategy program with 2 gears above the normal one because I really didn't want to spin.
Yeah.
It turned out fine, so it worked. Well, I was scared.
Really good race from you and from your teammate as well.
Thanks a lot.
4th and
Yeah,
5th.
fantastic.
A lot of points
I'm
for
gonna
Renault.
I'm gonna leave you in the booth, and I'm gonna bring in our race winner, who was smurfing out there today.
Goodbye.
Was Mr. Hugo. Oh, goodbye, Beamer. Hugo, I don't even know what to say. How much fun was that?
A lot of fun, I would say.
So I
Especially-
mean,
Go ahead.
sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna. I mean, you did. I'm pretty sure you did 2 more green flag pit stops than the rest of the lead pack. So, in effect, you gained up 2 pit stops worth of time on the road. I mean, just like what was going through your head when you realized, I guess, that the safety car, or rather that the rain wasn't going to come properly, and you had to pit again?
Well, I'll start from the start. So,
All right.
I don't think qualifying in the top 10 was the best idea.
Yeah.
As in, I don't think pole position was a very good position to be in.
Would
Because
you, really, you'd rather have been P11 than P1?
I think so.
Beamer also said
Because-
he also said Kopi might have intentionally qualified P12
Mm.
to get that.
Because I was stuck in a situation where I would either gone, like when the safety car came out, I would either go on mediums because it said that it would 100% switch over to wets in the end. So I assumed that it was gonna rain incredibly heavily. So I didn't want to go on mediums because when the rain did come, I didn't really want to be out there on 1 mediums.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did pit under the safety car, I'd also have to make my way through the traffic as well, which didn't go well yesterday. So I thought I would stay out and bolt on a set of fresh softs just before the rain came, so I'd be the fastest on track by a lot. And that worked out in the end. But then I saw Copy pitted for a set of softs at the end, and I really wanted the rain to come down harder so it switched to inters.
Mm-hmm.
But it never did, and yeah, I stayed out a few more laps to see if it would rain a bit more, but it didn't, and then I just hoped for the best by going on mediums.
It was really fun seeing
Yeah.
you cut through the field. Every time you pit, just seeing you absolutely speed past everyone. Yeah, just I'm speechless from your whole drive. It was just super fun
Okay.
seeing everything. I don't know. I think Tara can back up my words. We were just amazed by everything you're doing here. So
Just the little flecks, I got no warnings.
yeah,
No, I saw that like right at the end of the race. I looked it up and no warnings. Yeah, I mean to give you an impression of how impressed we were there, you won the race and you got driver of the day, which
you.
if you've ever watched the broadcast, you'll know that very rarely happens.
Yeah.
Normally we find an excuse to give it to somebody else, but there was absolutely no excuse this time. It was you were driver of the day and by a lot. So just a brilliant drive. I mean, I don't know. Were you? I guess you were with Some Idiot during those. In fact, let's bring Some Idiot in if he wants to chat to us as well.
yeah.
Let's bring him in because up front it was in qualifying. It was the two of you sort of trading blows. And Some Idiot, what are your thoughts on had that incident with Tipsy not happened? What was your sort of situation? Do you think you were in a good position to challenge Hugo today, or was he just a little bit too good?
I think I would have been in a decent spot. I would have been close on tire wear with the medium because I thought, oh, surely we're going to have enters in the last few laps. I can just save the medium. I will say with the incident with Tipsy, if I didn't get wing damage, I could have gone to the end.
Okay.
You had
'Cause
wind damage.
My left front was dying. I got wing damage and I had it for 23 laps.
Yeah, we weren't
Okay,
sure if
I
you
mean-
had damage or not.
Yeah, I had
We
like
figured you didn't.
puke green damage
Okay,
on the right
okay.
side.
So that sort of
But-
just makes the car push a little bit more.
Yeah,
Makes
left
it a
front
bit
was
slower.
getting. It would have been possible to go to the end if I hadn't got the left front issues with tire wear, just because of the damage. It just nuked the left front tire. I digress. The car was actually was pretty solid before that. It's just I don't know. I'm just disappointed because the only thing I can see that I did wrong in that is trying to go around the outside of turn 1. I held my line and I got killed.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, we only saw it live. We haven't seen replays of it.
Yeah.
But it looked like the two of you just sort of banged wheels at the wrong time, and that sort of unsettled you, and then that put you into each other again, and then obviously from there it's you know, it's
I saw his
not
POV
salvageable.
again. I saw his POV again of it, and it's just like he overcorrected and he smacked me,
Yeah,
and I was
No,
completely alongside him, and that just killed us both.
yeah, it's really
I wanna-
unfortunate. I mean,
I wanna shout.
it's
I
racing.
wanna
It's
shout
racing. It
how bad
happens.
that
Yeah,
is.
absolutely. I mean, it sucks.
It's just
but,
my
I mean,
bad for trying to go for that. That's my. I think next time absolutely won't go around the outside of turn 1.
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what I did
it
wrong.
is always a risk. You do put a lot of faith in the other driver not to, you know, not to have that happen. But I mean, yeah, like it just really sucks. But I mean, you know, Tipsy obviously, you know, you've seen Tipsy and you've raced with Tipsy before, and you've seen him race, and you know he's not the sort of thing to do that in any in any way that's malicious. Like it's. I mean, from what I saw, it was just a case that the two of you bumped wheels at the wrong time, and then that sort of set the chain reaction in motion.
It
so
just
it's
sucked
really
because I
unfortunate.
feel like I gotta say it's like my trust is now misplaced because of that. Because I had enough trust in him to say, oh, I can go around the outside, I can hold my line, and I should be able
Yeah,
to have a shot at it.
but at the
That's-
same time, it's you know it is racing. Like that is the sort of thing that happens sometimes, and you know people make
Yeah.
misjudgments and you do risky
Yeah.
things, and sometimes you know it's unfortunate. But yeah,
well, that just isn't
commiserations.
gonna happen again. I'm not even gonna put myself in a position to get killed like that again. I know that now at least. So
Oh, you know,
that's something. I'm sorry if I sound so down. I do apologize.
That's all right. I mean,
it's understandable.
It's the way it feels after a race like that. It's
But
unfortunate.
on the bright side, you gave us a show in qualifying, and I think it's a good taste for what's about to come in the next
Yeah,
21
I mean, the
races.
two of you. I mean, in many ways, it was a continuation of last week, wasn't it? Where you two were both battling. So I mean, you know, long may it continue. Certainly, you were in qualifying. You were the class of the field. So yeah, looking forward to the next few races.
Hoping there is a next chance at it. That car was awesome. So hopefully there is another chance next week.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
Thanks for having me in here. I'm gonna jump out.
No
You guys have a good one.
Yeah, you
yeah,
too.
no
Take
worries.
care.
I'll we got a few interviews to get through, so I'm gonna rattle through them. And thank you, Hugo's. And I mean, you know, I feel like we haven't spoken to you enough after that fantastic race.
Yeah.
And anything else you want to add as far as that race was concerned? It was brilliant to watch.
By the way, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, congrats to Hugo. I should have said that sooner. Congrats to him. He did an awesome job. Made his way back through on crazy conditions like we had there. But congrats to him. I'm gonna head out. Yeah, guys have a good one.
Yeah,
you
see you,
too.
Cody. Have a
Take
good
care.
one.
Bye bye.
All I will say is that I learned from what happened in my past 2 races.
Yep, absolutely right. You were definitely more patient in traffic, and you pick people off in good time.
Take them one
I
by
did
one.
notice that.
Waited for the
Yeah.
arrest zone. It was super clean. No mistakes whatsoever.
fantastic.
So yeah.
No,
Again,
such a good drive, man. I'm gonna drag you back into the other channel, but
Yeah.
such a good drive.
congrats.
Oh, actually, can't drag him in because I don't. Oh, there we go. He did it himself.
Who's
All right.
coming up next?
Who are we going to talk to now? We got so a couple of people want to be interviewed. I think I'm going to interview Icewind next. With apologies to Vance,
Yeah.
who Icewind is jumping the queue because he had a fantastic race as far as he is concerned. I can't even. Oh man. Could you do me a? Are you able to drag
No,
him into?
no, I'm
Oh,
not.
you're not.
Let me tell.
Okay.
Let me message Vance. Can you move Icewind?
Because the thing is, my display settings are like messed up, and everything's at such enormous scale. I'm gonna put it back down to a more reasonable scale so I can do it. There we go. All right, I can do it now. Ah,
okay.
fantastic.
Got it.
Well done. Vance did it first. Icewind. That was a crazy race to watch. So much action and a fantastic result for you. Talk us through your perspective of it. It was really good to watch.
Yeah, obviously much better than yesterday. Qualifying was a little bit of a hit and miss. I didn't really get the best lap I knew I would have been able to do, but I think it wouldn't have mattered even if I did a 19.3. It wouldn't have mattered. I would have been third anyway, so that was okay. Then I saw that it's gonna rain at the so maybe toward the end of the race or something, and well, I just started on the softs and hung on to Hugo and some idiot, and then Chief was Ocean Chief was crew chiefing me, and he just basically told me when we had the safety car to do whatever some idiot does, and he pitted, so I pitted as well. I kind of changed it. If you watch my recording back, like a millisecond before I go into the pit box, I changed to hard tires, which was the good choice in the end, of course. I think so anyway. So I made a mistake for quite a long time there, but then the rain sort of never really built up, and I was able to hang on there. I figured that I probably can't fight against Hugo because I had those 2 penalties to deal with at the end. So I'm hesitant to say it, but happy to be in third today.
Hey, don't be hesitant
Third
to
is
say
a
that.
really
You
good
should
spot.
be happy. It's in this field, third place is a really stunning
And
result.
on those old tires, on the slippery track with the rain coming down, it's not something to play yourself down on. And getting only 2 penalties, then again, it's not that bad, you know. It's easy to pick up.
Yeah, and 6 seconds is much less than I got in the practice races. So
And less than most people, I would add as well in this race.
yeah, I guess so. But like one thing I wanted to add there is that I actually didn't feel too bad on the tires there. Like even at the end, on the last 3-4 laps or so, I was feeling pretty confident that I figured that I had enough ERS to keep Jensen behind me, and then he sort of dropped back a little bit as well, I think, and he dropping my things here. But yeah, better, and I think I'll have to be quite happy with that because the next few tracks are not really gonna be something I enjoy much, but we'll see, I guess. So.
See, who knows what happens.
Yeah,
and
I guess you should be. I guess you should be. Maybe you should be happy with that. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Maybe I don't know. Hesitate to say it, but yeah, you should be happy, Icewind.
You should be really happy. You should,
It was a great drive.
just keep the momentum going. You know, keep on going like this, and you're in for more good results.
I'm a full-time driver. I don't have a seat, so just the reserve at the moment. I was sort of a bit late to sign up for this season, so we'll see.
I'm sure there'll be tons more opportunities, and certainly putting performances in like that.
You're definitely gonna get spots.
Yeah, maybe this is gonna be. Terror might remember about a year ago this time when we started 2019 and the first season in that. It was sort of like this. I completely bottled on Saturdays in SLR, and then I did a little bit better in 2 SRL. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just podium is a brilliant result in this first race, and hopefully, I mean, yeah, fingers crossed we'll see you in more races, because it's always good to see you up the sharp end and battling, and you are one of the quickest drivers out there, and you showed it today. So yeah, brilliant drive, well done.
Thanks. Well done. Really good.
I'm going to drag you back into the general chat, and we're going to speak to our league admin. And where did Vance finish? It was a pretty good result, wasn't it? It was like 7th or 6th
or 8th or
something
6th,
like that.
somewhere there.
Something like that. I don't know. Is he there? He might have given up.
I wish that was the case.
Did
I really
you?
do.
Oh, because you had to pit late. Oh no. Oh dear.
It was all going with the master plan.
The master plan that the rain is gonna hit harder.
Oh no, not at all,
Oh.
not at all. I knew it wasn't gonna happen. Oh man, it sucked. You know, I don't know if you guys are aware how often like the safety cars come up with like small incidents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, after I pitted, after the halfway mark, basically a safety car. At any point I was gold. There were 3 major collisions, no safety car.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
And there was one like 6 laps before end. I was like, okay, this is it. I don't even need to pit. I just need to have the laps go slow so my tire wear doesn't go over. Because I think I could have maybe done it to the end, but I would have probably gotten a puncture. So just 2 laps of safety car, I would have finished P2 just fine. And the safety car never came. So.
Oh man, unlucky.
What were your mediums on towards the end there, like the last few laps?
I was on 80 something, but
there was no way you could have got to the end. It was
with the safety car. Yeah, I think with the safety car was gonna.
Oh no, I mean like without the safety car.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
because you started on the softs, right? So yeah, you could
Yeah,
have.
I mean
like,
that's why I
within the
also
rules,
paid it
you
because
could have done that.
yeah, like it was pretty inevitable to get that puncture.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sucks. But you know, the qualifying stuff all worked out. Now it was planned, so still a really good race. I mean, it's but I don't know if you want to call it bad luck because at the end of the day, it was
No,
hoping
it's,
for a
it's
collision.
definitely
but-
bad luck. I mean, you're the collision or the safety car is reasonably likely, so it's a completely reasonable play to gamble on it. I don't think it's even particularly a gamble. But yeah, I mean, like in terms of pace, like you were right up there, right? I guess you could have done what Hugo did and just drive a second a lap faster than everyone
Yeah,
else. And it
I
would've
could
been
have done
alright.
that, but I would need to have talent for that.
But no, I mean, your pace was there though. Like the qualifying time was pretty good. How are you feeling about the F1 2020 as a whole, and like and now that you've done like a league race, an actual league race, or 2 league races, counting yesterday, how are you feeling about it?
It's definitely a hugely better game than F1 2019 was.
Okay.
We've got those starting like glitches and stuff, so that's no bueno. But that aside, like if they fix that, which I'm not sure they will, to be honest, but if they do fix that, then it's going to be a really, really good game to league race on, I think.
Yeah, I
Just
mean
right now
they
it's a bit
they must fix it surely. Like it's probably not a small job, but they must fix it. If they're like hosting any sort of events with the game, like this just got to be fixed, right?
With the spectators.
Yeah, I mean you'd hope so, right?
Whereas spectating
Yeah,
also brings out
you
a lot of issues, like just not seeing the tire. Like I think it's someone. I don't remember who it was. I think it was
Yeah,
actually
they're
Kopi in the
spectator
end.
modes.
He was
Yeah.
on 33 laps all softs towards the end of the race apparently, and
The
his
29 lap race.
yeah. So and the timings at the start of the race, they really just get messed up. So it's really hard to follow at the start. But yeah.
Yeah, I bet. But yeah, I mean, maybe if they decide to work on that stuff, then the game's gonna be a big success, I think, for league stuff. But if they don't, then yeah, kind of sucks.
You got to shrug your shoulders, yeah, and it does kind of suck. Putting on your league admin hat for a second and taking off your driver hat. How did you? How are you feeling about that race? Like, from our perspective, it was action all the way through.
Yeah,
just some brilliant
very
driving
good.
out there.
I mean, I had a couple of different shouts in my voice call from different people at times, so it did sound like it was eventful. But I guess, what did you guys think? Like, what kind of things did you witness?
We were watching a train of 5 to 6 or even 7 cars at some point, all battling for the lead almost. With you being in the mix, the top 10 was basically all in DRS range of each other almost the whole race.
Yeah.
And all battling cleanly for the most part. It was there was some
For the
really good
most part.
driving
Are
out
you
there.
referring to me there?
Hey? Yeah, you were your usual dirty self, but everyone else was really clean. No, it was it was pretty much
Dirty
clean.
self, excuse me.
I saw a car upside down, which I've never seen in an F1 2020 in an F1 league race. In fact,
I
never
rarely
seen
even
a
see
car
that in a
upside
game.
down. So yeah, absolutely. So props to Danny for managing that. I'm impressed.
I'm about to upload a banger meme on that, by the way.
He's a winner
yeah.
in stunt
Oh, yeah.
jumps for sure. Maybe
I
not a
was right
winner.
behind him when that happened. I saw the entire show.
That's gonna be something good to see then.
I also want to say his 4th commentary today, Sanix, my partner in crime here today, and just a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Keep this up, Sanix. You got some talent as far as commentary is concerned.
As I said before we started streaming, I was like, Tara, I'm just gonna open it off and then I'm just gonna follow your lead. And I feel like I didn't do a lot. You were just talking.
Honestly, I feel like I was so excited through most of the race that I just talked over you and said too much.
Yeah, I feel like what I'm missing. What I'm missing is a bit of that, like just something happens and then just bang, more excitement. Just whoa,
No, it'll come. Like it's a skill like anything else. So
Then again, all of this was so sudden. It's so
Yeah,
unexpected.
But no, like your reading of the race, your fluency in talking, especially as you're not a native English speaker, just really really good. So yeah.
Well,
Props.
thanks a lot. Okay.
So yeah, anything else you want to say, Vance? I think we're gonna wrap this one up, unless anyone desperately wants to talk to us.
I think Tipsy still wants to talk to you.
Oh, Tipsy wants to talk to us, does
Yeah.
he? Did didn't get a message, but I'll take your word for it, and I'll
I don't-
drag him in.
He's down at the end of one where everyone's gone for the comment.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I don't know.
All right, let's bring him in then, because Tipsy. I guess it's. I mean, so we chatted, and you'll have heard what some idiot said about the incident, Tipsy, and as you know, like I said, as the way we saw it, it was just sort of the two of you sort of bang wheels at the wrong time, and then sort of lost control at the wrong time. So, what was it from your perspective?
Yeah, I'll not hold the stream up too long because you know, you just want to get it stopped. No, I was listening to what was going on, and I thought I'll jump on because put my side to it. Because initially I felt that I was the blame was getting attributed to me. That's why I wanted to come on. But I've been talking to somebody there on the other chat. You know, it's been sorted out. On my side, as I was explaining to the guys, I don't really think there's anyone really to blame for that incident. I mean, you guys have raced with me, you've commented in the races, you know it's very rare for me to get caught up in anything like that. And so from my point of view, as I was saying to the guys earlier there in the other chat, I was on the restart, I was on P5, and I was focusing on getting no penalties, which I achieved, hoping for a safety car. I said to Bance before the race, there will be a safety car, so set yourself up for that. So that's what I was doing. P5 came after the safety car. I was flying, then I seen an idiot. Some idiot was going. He went to the outside. If you might have seen on the bit, I held my line to see what he was going to do because I wasn't going to make a late move. Then he slotted in behind me, so I thought, right, that's my chance. So I sat in the middle of the track, which is again a common thing I would do: pick the middle and let the guy behind decide what he's going to do. So he went round the outside, which is a brave thing to do on that corner. For play to him for trying it. And then this is where I think it's not really a difference of opinion, really, but just where the issue comes across, whereby some people think I got a kick of oversteer, whereas for me it felt like I got a tap initially from the left. I think he got it. He basically had a better turn in on that corner than me. But I was doing my utmost to leave the room, and then there was that little contact, and then from me it was from that contact is where I got the oversteer. To correct it, and then that's where
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at Speedy's point of view. He's posted in general.
It's first.
Sorry.
It seems according to Speedy's that it was like he got a better turn in than me, which made the tap on my car, and then that's where it all went disaster. That's how I felt.
I mean, just looking at this, I mean, there's definitely one wheel bang where it sort of seems to send you both sort of, you know, fighting for control of the car, and then it seems like to me that he makes more of a move than you do. Like he gets more out of shape than you do. How much of that is lag? He's on the west coast of the US, so you know some of that might be lag, but certainly it looks like he moves more than you did. Looking at this, so I mean, it is. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you know, and if I were to judge this in the FIA, then I would say that, you know, it's a racing incident pretty much. Both of you fighting over, you know, a position pretty hard, and you know, just a unfortunate circumstance where the both of you bang wheels at the wrong time, and that causes a crash. I
mean,
I wouldn't have said there was anyone especially to blame.
I don't think. Sorry, that's Alex. I was just going to say, I generally don't feel there's any real blame on either of us. It's just really unfortunate that it happened to him, because I mean, he's one of the best in the league. He's well on for, you know, winning this thing, or maybe putting the challenge to the rest of the guys, Hugo and Danny and all. And so whenever I seen it was him, I was like, damn it, you know, of all the people I don't want to collide with anyone. And I think I do a bloody good job, if I can say it, over 8 seasons to avoid pretty much everyone in an instance like that. So again, this is rare for me to be involved in that. But whenever I seen it happen to him, I was like, damn it, you know, I seen him spun, and I thought, damn it, he's going to be absolutely raging. Probably raging with me. That's normal. It happens in a race. Then whenever I got my damaged front right wing, I thought, damn it, that's everything over now. That's it. It's just over. And you probably seen I was do my best to let everyone past. Again, other people would try and fight that position right to the pits, but not me. I will let them go. And then that was my race pretty much over. And just to wrap this up, I was talking, you know, in the chat there above, with the boys and with Idiot, and I wanted to make sure that there's no issues on my side with him, and equally, there's no issues with him with me. So we've cleared that up privately. I'll set the game on publicly. There's no issues there, and I'll set a game to public to him that, hopefully that he can trust me on track. Because again, we sound like a repetition here, but the guys can attest that you can trust me. Yes, I'm gonna fight tooth and nail, which everyone knows. I'm not easy to pass like Bants. We're known for that in 2S, that we will fight every last inch we've got. But I generally.
By the way, Tara said it is our dirty self. Definitely relates to you as well, 100%.
I said specifically.
That
you,
was
Bants.
specifically for you,
It
Bants.
was just you. It's just
He
you.
said specifically, maybe picking up maybe a bit of band.
I'm pretty sure I heard that, and Tara was saying that in the singularity. So
Bants, try not to bring other people down with you. You're the dirty one here.
But no, I'll let you wrap it up. But just,
Evidence has been presented to millions of people.
there's no issue with me and Ice, or me and Ice. There's no issue. Actually, speaking of Ice, Mr. Icewind, if you are listening, I do not personally want to hear you being negative on F1 every game, because on my game it said he won the race. Did he
Well,
win the race?
he certainly crossed the line first.
He crossed the line first, yeah. And then
yeah,
due to
that is
penalties,
certainly
Hugo's got
true.
the win.
Right. Okay.
But he
Well,
did win on
okay.
track position. If the thing was regular, he would have been the winner.
Against these beasts in tier 1. So I mean, that's not to say it. But yeah, I'll go now, and just even though I don't think there's anyone's fault, I will say publicly I apologize to Idiot, for what happened, and you can trust me the rest of the races. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to give up the place. Let's put that if I don't have to. But he can trust me the rest of the races.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks, Tipsy.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thanks a
talking
lot.
to us. Really appreciate it. Always good to talk to you. And yeah, let's wrap the stream up.
Yeah, I
Sanix,
think
I'll let you take it away because you're hitting the button. So
Yeah.
I'll let you wrap us
So I
up.
think after that, yeah, we're done with interviews. Thanks to everyone that actually watched and stick through this interviews. This was quite long. I think 30 minutes almost.
Yeah, and another half hour of interviews. Yeah.
Yeah,
after-
it was
after
quite
yesterday
a
as
few
well.
people
We'll
that
try
were
and
willing
rattle
to
through
talk.
them a bit more in future.
Anyways, thanks to everyone for watching, and next race is again, actually on Tuesday, we start with there's Tier 3, which I'm also commentating, so Bahrain, and then after that again, next week, every day, SLR and 2 SRL, finishing off the weekend in Bahrain. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next streams, and
Yeah.
Bants, please.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Anyways, thanks
Yeah,
everyone for
Bants.
watching, and
So unprofessional.
I'll see you all.
Bye bye.
All right.